I have to crochet Taehyun's sweater thing from the new Freefall album, and I'm going all out for it. Have you seen my Twice video yet? Just wearing this for fun. Where is my package? I got safety pins, pearls. I'm gonna do the full on, like, oh my goodness. It's gonna be amazing. Look at me. I'm collecting all the free tote bags this week. Luck is on my side. Not only was transit super easy today, didn't have to wait for anything, but they ran out of the yarn thread stuff that I got for this because like I had ordered online to pick up. So they gave me one that has almost 3 times the amount of yardage instead for free. I didn't have to pay the difference. I have no idea how much of this I'm gonna use. Happy times. Everything's going well today. Let's knock on wood for that. That wood, I don't know. The only thing is I have to finish my Twice video before I do this, and now I'm super excited about this. Not that I'm not excited about my Twice video. Look at that. Look at this. So proud. All right, we ready to start? So I got this stuff. I've never used this stuff before, and I was originally just going to use my regular schmegular wait for value yarn, which is fine. It's fine, but for the distressing, it wouldn't look like Taehyun's, which I was gonna be fine with, but I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I may as well do it right, so I went all the way to Michael's. I've been ordering online because I'm too lazy to actually go, but like, I was gonna start this today, so I needed stuff today. We'll zoom in here. The stuff that this is made with is very thready, but the overall look looks like a mesh double crochet stitch pattern kind of thing. Same kind of vibe as this like bolero thing I made for my Vicha A2K video. So this is the pattern I'm gonna use. I use my 3.75mm hook for this because I use it for everything. It's my favorite one. Just because I think this was the first one that I had with the grip, so I don't know. So this, I believe, is gonna make our distressing look cooler, I hope. But I am going to be using multiple. I completely forgot Michael's even had this. Good to know. Hello. This is weight 0, which is lace. So I'm going to take multiple of these and stitch with them together. I have no idea how much it's gonna take. So I have 3 of these and they're all 1,000 yards, which is crazy, but like, I don't know. I might go through it like crazy. So we'll see. I only have 2. Did I only get 2? No, I have 1. Hello? I need to clean up after my last video because I did not. I found it. It was hiding. I don't think 3 will be enough though. I might have to use like 4 at once. 4 to make weight 4. I think weight 3 would be best. There's so much garbage everywhere. Right, so it's not really giving the effect that I want. It looks more like cord than a bunch of strings, which is sad because I spent a lot of money on this. These were like $7 each, and I'm just realizing that now. So like $8 with taxes each. That's crazy. Sadness? Frustration? Maybe? I don't know. I still think like it'll look better than this stuff, but it feels more like cord. Like I don't think it's gonna be comfy. This stuff would be comfy, but I still am confident that it'll look better for the distressing. So here's to hoping. And I'm also glad that like 3 strands of this gives me the like sizing that I would like, because otherwise I would have had to like figure out a way to wrap these around and do something else to get another string to use. Happiness. So I'm working on the back first. What I did was I chained, I don't remember. I did my first row just all double crochet, and then I started the mesh pattern, which is just a double crochet, chain, skip, double crochet. So we have these spaces in between. Then it looks like, and it's hard to tell because I don't have like all these pictures, but you can see like there's like a hole here in his thing. So that's what I'm doing now, which was kind of annoying because you have to finish off here, fasten off, and then attach back on here and redo this. The first row for that I decreased just so it would make a bit more of a circle and not just a square. And then I did a few rows, finished my last row with an increase, again to make it more curved, and then I fastened off. Went back here, did the same thing on this side, decreased to start off, and then I went back and forth. I started on this side because depending on how many rows in between, like you need this to be a row above. This might sound so confusing, but you need this to be a row above this one, because when we do this and I increased as well, then I chained the amount that I would need to refill in all of this so it's back to being the same amount of stitches. And then, because we're not just gonna slip stitch this because we have to continue the row. So what we're gonna do is just continue and the row here, right? So just start doing the double crochet mesh pattern again, which is why this needs to be a row above, because technically we're on this row, not this row. I don't know if that made sense. Also, this might be way too big. I can't really tell from the photo because it's obviously just like a little tiny piece of his back. Also, I would like to point out that it looks a lot better now that I've started. It looks less like cord. You can see like little strings poking through, which is like perfect because I think that's the way Taehyun's is, so loving it. So I did another little hole up at the top here. I don't think the placement of these are like perfect, but it's fine. This distressing is easy because it's not actually distressing, it's just holes. The sleeves will be harder, I'm sure. So I finished the back. I also finished the front. These are probably a lot shorter. Taehyun's is probably a lot longer, but you can't tell because it's tucked in. So short is less work. I shaped the neck a little bit in the back, leaving this much space. I decreased 3 double crochet together decrease in both rows. So I have 2 rows for the shaping for the back. And then for the front, I did 5 rows. And instead of decreasing like 3 together, I just did 1 together for the first 4 rows. And then the last one I didn't decrease at all. There is no distressing on this because I could not see any in the picture and less work for me. Most of it'll be covered up with the super fancy like pearls and chains and such anyway, so. And my yarn threads whatever the frick this is going strong. I was honestly so worried that this would run out because I cannot tell how much this is, and this was expensive a little bit, so very happy. Still not feeling very great though. It's very it's like I made this with quartz. Basically. It's not like super uncomfy, but probably not the nicest. It's not the nicest. I'm going to test something that may or may not work because Taehyun's collar thing here, it's like a rib stitch and then it's frayed quite a bit, quite often. So I need to know if I can cut into this without it unraveling. And I know the crochet is very hard to unravel unless you're unraveling it from the like working like loop. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna cut into this a few times and see. This looks good. That looks like his thing. I'm gonna use a smaller hook whenever I do the ribbing, but wow. I mean, I probably could like, yeah, pull this out and stuff, but yeah, the rest seem not loose. So even if I pull it out, it's just even more distressed. Nothing else is loose. If things get too long, I can just trim them. Wow, I'm so happy. I didn't actually think that would work. I'm so freaking happy about this. Wow, this whole thing is just going to look almost exactly like his, and that makes me so freaking happy. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was like getting discouraged because this is taking forever and I don't like how this feels, but this gives me hope. I just wasted a bunch of yarn, but I mean it was worth it because I couldn't like do hours worth of work on the actual project and then try and see if I could cut it. That would be a no-no. Now I'm just going to crochet the top shoulders together so that I can do the neck, and also I don't really know how or what order I'm doing the sleeves in. We'll see. I finished the neck and it looks amazing. Wow. Like wow. Wow. I'm not gonna distress it till later because I don't want to. I feel like I'll distress it once everything's done. I am looking at this and being like, this isn't wide enough. Like it's not gonna fall over my shoulders enough. So we will test that out now. Oh, so good. Oh, also I was looking at the pictures again and I realized that I missed distressing on the back, and there is distressing that has like the threads going across it, but I just have these 2 holes. So that's nice. Oh, it's tight. That's not good. Oh, that's okay. Okay, and it hangs over a little bit, and then I still need to do the ribbing on this as well. Though this is not gonna be comfortable on my neck. I'm a bit sensitive, but you know. So now, instead of doing the sleeves separate and then attaching them on, I'm just gonna do the sleeves on here, I think. The next step is to sew these together, or probably just like crochet them up the sides into, I guess here, an acceptable sleeve armpit hole length. Let's mark this. And then I'm gonna do the ribbing around this armhole. Well, that just ruined it. I did the first ribbing on the sleeve and it's looking cute, but I realized I didn't really show you how to do ribbing if you don't already know. For this, I'm using a smaller hook. I'm using a 2.5mm hook. For the rest of it, I was using a 3.75mm hook low, just so that it's more, you know, tightly woven, more condensed here. And as you can see, the rib stitch makes these like little ribs, hence the name. So it's pretty simple, but pretty time consuming as well. All you gotta do is connect it to your piece as you would anything. You just do your little slip knot. You stick your hook through where you want to connect it to, and then tighten the slip knot around this guy. Hello. Pull the slip knot through, and then do a little chain to hold it in place. And we're gonna use this chain as the first chain, so I am doing 5 chain wide ribbing. So we got 1, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in order to turn and start working this chain, I'm gonna chain 1 more just so that we can go into the second chain from the hook, and then we're just gonna work down the chain. I did single crochet for all my ribbing for this, and now as you can see, we need to attach it back to the armhole again. Now, how far you go really depends on what you're trying to do. So I'll slip stitch it to this first stitch. I'm kind of doing 2 slip stitches per double crochet here just because it's like pretty wide. Now, you can either stretch this out pretty wide by slip stitching more, as many as you want. Whenever I did the neck hole, I don't know proper words for things. I stretched it out 2 or 3 stitches at a time because you don't want the neck like this to sit out like this. It'd be weird looking. You want it to go in at the top, so the bottom has to be stretched out so it'll naturally go in at the top here like it is doing, because I did amazing. For this though, like for this other side of the arm, we just want it to be straight. So if you don't go over enough, then it'll start to flare out at the top and look stupid really. So you want to do just enough so that it's straight on either side of your thing. And it's pretty forgiving. Like say you do too much one row, then you can just do a little less the next row. It's not a big deal. You won't notice it. I don't notice it anyway. Hello, what's going on here? I've messed everything up. So I slip stitched in this first one, and then I kind of want the slip stitches to stay in place. I don't want it to be able to, you know, move up and down this double crochet. So I kind of just like stick it in randomly inside of this double crochet somewhere so that it gets stuck in here. So I'll do about 2. Hello, so hard with 3 strings. I do about 2 between every row, and then we just work back up and down, slip stitch, up and down, slip stitch, like that's how it goes. And in order to get the rib effect, all we gotta do is go into, I've been going into the back loops only, but really you can go into the front loops only as long as you stay the same every single row. So if you go in the front loops only, you have to always go in the front loops only. If you go in the back loops only, you have to always go in the back loops only. And since it's difficult because of the slip stitches creates these little V stitches too, I count every single time so I don't mess this up. So I know that I have 5 stitches and I'm supposed to always have 5 stitches. So I literally just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I like, okay, so that's where I have to go into, and then I do my 5 on the way up. Once I get to the top, I just chain before turning and going back down again in the back loops only, because that's what I chose to do. This just keeps it straight, I think. And then I went back down now so I can slip stitch back into the main body of the work again. Do that twice. And you just continue that over and over again. This is why it's time consuming. It literally took me, I don't know, over an hour for sure to do one armhole, which is annoying. If this was super confusing, you're just like, I cannot see because this is black. It's hard for me to see. Then definitely there's so many tutorials on YouTube. Just look up a rib stitch tutorial, how to attach a rib. Like it's not as hard as it seems. I believe in you. Also, today has just been an emotional roller coaster for me because I am waiting on my albums coming in. They were apparently supposed to be here 5-6 days ago, but I didn't pay the customs. I didn't get an email or message or anything saying to pay the customs, so I didn't know I was supposed to pay the customs. I thought it was just still in transit. So they've been holding it for 6 days. I finally paid it this morning because they finally messaged me, and it said like half an hour ago that it's been delivered. So I was like, woo! And then I like ran up to the door to pick it up, and it's not there. Trying not to freak out, but it doesn't actually say what address it's going to on the tracking. So I'm like, what if it went somewhere completely different, which wouldn't make any sense because I've ordered from the same, it's the same information I've put in before, but I was so ready to open it today. Yay! I am now working on the sleeve, so I did the ribbing around the sleeve, right? Now I'm doing an extra layer of ribbing around the sleeve, if you can see here, which was hard because I didn't know how much to like slip stitch in to the main part of the work to like not stretch or like not stretch the bottom piece and also not stretch the top piece, or so I can't help with that. I just kind of wung it and hope for the best, and it looks okay. I just kind of folded this in half and was like, you know, this is half. So I did half of it connected, and then I started doing a piece without connecting it with the slip stitches until that got long enough to be like half of this, if that makes sense. And now I'm gonna just connect it to this piece so that it's like this, and we have our hole here, and then we can start the sleeve by connecting it to this entire circle and then doing the rounds after that. I don't know if I'm making any sense because I'm tired. It's bedtime. I did my first row of the stitch pattern again, the mesh stitch pattern, and I'm not really sure. I just did it randomly hoping that it wouldn't be too much. I'll do another couple rows before deciding because it does kind of flare out a little bit at the edges. I don't want that. I want it to be just straight, you know? So we'll see. I am very sad because this looks too... I'm wearing a shirt underneath it, but it looks too wide and it keeps looking wider. I'm gonna redo the entire freaking mesh part of it. I would like to redo this part too, but that took too freaking long because this is a bit wider than this part. Like it comes out a little bit further. I guess it wouldn't be a big deal because I would just have to undo a couple rows. This was hours of work, but it's fine because this has to look perfect. Plus, I'm really scared of running out of this yarn. Like I can't really tell, but I keep like squishing it and it's starting to feel less squishy. All this yarn smells like cardboard, which I'm cool with. I love the smell of cardboard. Almost there for the first time. I'm gonna do one more regular row and then a row of decreasing this down to like maybe every other one decreasing so that we can start the little cuff. So my distressing isn't looking that great. I have missed distressing. My distressing that I did, hello, I need the light, that I did is like, how do I show you this? I don't have anything going across it really. And I guess I could just attach some of the string and like make my own thing. I could do that later. It's fine. But it's kind of like disappointing because that was the whole point of having this kind of yarn thread stuff. Because look, even if I like go across it, they're all still together. Like it's a little bit more stringy, but not like a lot. Also, ribbing for knitting I think would be easier to distress because you're working like from bottom up. You can leave, you know, long lines of things. For crochet though, you're working back and forth like this. There's not really anything you can do. And since Taehyun has this like distressing on his little cuff thing that goes like all across it, I wanted to do that. So what I'm going to do for that is I did my cuff. It's so hard to show you these things because it's all so dark. I did the cuff. I'm almost finished it. If you can see, I don't know. So before I finish this, I'm just gonna leave the yarn on here. I'm going to cut a long piece of it and use a needle and thread and just stitch back and forth as many times as possible to sew this up and just leave a space here that's just thread going back and forth, and hopefully that looks okay. I don't know, like I'm almost done this, but at the same time I'm like so over it already, which is sad because like I was so excited about this. But then 17 came out with all their freaking crochet in their video, like taunting me. So now all I want to do is make Seungwon's patchwork freaking fall looking cardigan. But alas, I must finish this first, and it's getting so close. It looks nice. Okay, it looks good, but we still have so many more elements to do after we finish the main part of the sweater, so I am so freaking discouraged at this point. Like, I guess I'm just not used to projects taking longer than 2 days anymore. And since I've been busy, this has taken, I don't even know, probably over 5 days at this point. Ridiculous, if you ask me. But today is the last day because I am for sure starting Seungwon's cardigan today. We're starting the 17 video today. I even freaking dreamt about Seungwon last night. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Also, I got my albums in, right? So I have the Clarity album that has freaking Taehyun's outfit in it. So much of it. Oh, I opened to the right page. Look at that. There's so many more angles. I mean, these are all the same pictures that I already have, but there are a couple more extra pictures in there, and I didn't even look at it because I was so done making this. I was just like, I'm winging the rest and I'm not doing much distressing because I need this to be finished. Oh, I put this away really badly. I bent stuff. Ow, that hurt. Why did I do that so hard? I'm on edge. Ooh, that stings. Why is it so dark? Hello? So as I said, I finished it. Like the main part of it, obviously we gotta do all the fancy stuffs now to do. And I'm super happy because I did not run out of yarn. I was super close to running out of yarn by the feels of it, but I did not. The only problem is I hope I still have enough to do the little straps. So we have this. I should put this on, but I'm not changing for this. I will change when I am doing the final try on. But for now, it's gonna look a little stupid. Today is beadworking day, right after we finish these strappy things. So this is where we're at. This is really cold. I guess it's psychology, but like wearing a sweater with holes all over it is even more cold than not wearing a sweater because you just expect some warmth. Actually, this looks really good. This is the first time I've tried it on since finishing the sleeves. But I actually didn't explain the sleeves properly. Plus, I think the sleeves are short. I do this with everything because I'm like, I'm running out of yarn. I don't try it on because it's getting a bit too much. It's taking a bit too long, and then my sleeves end up short. But I think this looks okay. You can be the judge of that. I don't know. I did kind of decrease a little bit during this, like the whole thing, just because, I don't know. I had to count this side to see what was going on. So I was constantly counting this side to see if I decreased accidentally or on purpose because I really don't remember. So I decreased a couple times going through here. Maybe like, I probably have like 5 more stitches at the beginning than I do at the end. For the very last row, I ended up decreasing every stitch. I'm pretty sure I said that I was going to decrease every other one, but that wasn't enough. So I did every stitch. I can't breathe. I also don't think I showed you this, my like de-stressing. It turned out pretty well just with like stitching it. I didn't do any de-stressing on this side, and the de-stressing that I did on this arm is very minimal. I don't even know where it is. Is that? Hello, I can't bend that way. Oh, there's some here too. Just like very minor. Now what we're gonna do is these strappity strap things, which is why I'm hoping I have enough yarn for them because I was just gonna use that yarn thread thing and make just like a long strappity strap. I don't have those metal things, but what I do have is a bajillion keychains. I'm never gonna use all these keychains, so the idea is I use these rings as these rings. And I know these rings are like half circles, so it's not gonna be as comfortable, and I don't know if it's gonna work, and I never ever figured out how to use those things to begin with, to be quite honest. But regardless, we are making that. I think I'm just gonna keep them all 3 together because I don't have a hook small enough to make that tightly woven enough with just 1 string at a time. Plus, I don't want it to take forever. My smallest hook that I have is a 2mm hook, so I'm gonna use that one. Is it just me, or is this like a vibe? This is a vibe. Taehyun's strap things are pretty long. I probably don't have the yarn for that. Also, I don't know how this works. Like, where's the other strap? I only see one. Oh, so we need a little tiny one to connect the 2 circular metal things. I'll do one like this length, which is like 2.5 inches. And then, yeah, we'll hook on our things, sew those together. Then we'll make a big long strap for the bottom one. That's gonna be, let's just make ours a good even 10 inches. We'll try our best. And if we run out of yarn halfway through, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I've removed my chains from my little keychain things. The ring. I have 2 long straps and then 2 short straps. These short straps, I'm going to stick these through. Oh, I didn't actually check if it would like fit. Okay, it's perfect. Everything is going well. So I'll do it like this. Just fold it over in half and then sew it to this top part. And then the bottom part is hello? This is gonna be sewed to the bottom part. Right, I was feeling really good, okay? I was like, who needs to buy anything? 'Cause like, look, I can just make anything. So I got this and you know, it works, it's functional. I figured out how to use this and then I forgot how to use it. Wait, I think you go up like this and then through like this, maybe. Sure, let's go with that. See, it works, it's functional. And then I lifted it all up to admire it because I did both sides. And look, I did this one the opposite. Like the things are on the bottom of this one and they're on the top of this one. I'm literally sweating sewing this together. And now what? How do I even sew that apart? Because like, or take it apart because you cannot see at all where the stitches are. What I did was I like stuck it on the back side like this. And then I did like a square of stitches around it. Very professional, I thought. But now look at me. What the freak? I'm gonna see if I can put it. No, it's gonna look stupid because this is gonna go up like this then. But that's a style too, right? I don't know. The freak. I'm so upset. There's no way I can undo that without accidentally like wrecking something maybe. What to do. Plus I'm kind of worried that this is gonna be uncomfortable anyway because this one here, like it's very chonky and it's like sat on the inside of the sleeve. But maybe it'll be loose enough, it doesn't matter. I'm not redoing this. I'm sad about it, but I don't think it would be worth the effort or even possible with effort. It is what it is. That's why you double check things. I never ever double check things when I sew them. Okay, it's pearl time. This is so like, I don't know what I'm doing and I've never done this before, so I really don't know what I'm doing. But I'm trying to measure how long this needs to be, and I feel like I need to be wearing it to know where things are supposed to be. So it's pretty complicated. Yeah. So this is the shoulder piece that goes across his like shoulder here. So I don't know. I know some things about jewelry making. I have a jewelry kit because I got into jewelry for like a week. So I'm just connecting this chain to this with like jump rings. So I connected it here, I'm gonna connect it here so that I know where the halfway point is, and then I'm gonna connect it like that. For the strings of pearls, I'm using this like kind of stretchy bracelet plasticky stuff, and how I'm connecting it to things is this little tiny thing, teeny tiny bead. It's called a crimp bead, and so you just thread it through. I thread it through like this, put it on here, stick whatever it is that I'm using to connect to the next thing, like a little loop thing called, oh, what are these called? Jump rings. Hello. They're like little open rings that you stick around something and then close. So I just close it before doing. This is taking a really long time. It is 1:30 and I was hoping I would have this finished like just after the morning, and it is not happening. I'm not even close because all this stuff takes forever. So I have the crimp bead on and the jump ring, and then I just fold this over and stick it through the crimp bead as well. It's very difficult. I'm not wearing my glasses. Hello. And then once that's on, you can crimp the bead. You just crush it and that holds it all in place. Crush, crush, crush. It's not hard. I don't know. I made it look difficult. Oh no, I broke it. Gosh dang it. Why is everything so difficult? Anyway, I do that and then I beat it and then I do the same thing on the other side. Hours later, it's literally 3:30 now. I think I've completed all the pieces and now I just need to put them together. I am sad because I ran out of these bigger ones, so I had to use a different set, and they're obviously a different color, so it kind of looks gross when it's mixed. Is whatever. This is already super heavy, so I can't even imagine how like it's gonna be a freaking wow. I have my little album here for reference, and I'm not even joking when I tell you that I literally went like this and tried to freaking zoom in on these pictures. Welcome to the future. I'm trying to connect everything, but it's very complicated and I can't keep everything straight in my head. I'm pretty sure I missed a string of pearls, which really sucks because it's a really long one and I don't have any really beads left, and I don't want to do that, but we'll see. But I was like, a mannequin would work really well for this. I don't have a mannequin. I do not have the funds for a mannequin. But what do I have? A chair. Feeling like a genius. So I'm gonna try to stick everything on here on the chair, and it's gonna be so much easier, I think. I hope. Okay, well, it doesn't look that great the way it's sitting now, but I think I'm done. The only thing is I didn't have any gold chain. He has some gold chain in there, and that gives it like an extra layer, I guess. I also didn't have the larger link chain. I literally didn't buy anything for this other than the pearls, well, the yarn, and what else did I buy? Oh, the safety pins. So, you know, I made my own little chain of safety pins to replicate that, and placement might be off as well, but it is what it is. I'm done. I'm so done. I've gotta say that this is probably my least fun project, and like, yeah, it's the most intense project, but I don't really know why. Like, I was really excited to make it, but I think I was more excited to make it because I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I didn't want to actually make it. Like, actually making it wasn't fun. And my back is in so much pain from like beading. Like, anything I have to do where I'm looking down a lot. Ugh. So is it even worth it? I don't know. I'm gonna try it on now and we'll see. This is also super heavy. Like, I wonder how heavy Taehyun's was, because this is ridiculous. Though he would probably love it because just like extra free strength training. I feel like this is also gonna be super difficult to put on. Like, how everything is everywhere now. I feel like before all this went on, like, this is something that I could have wore, you know? I mean, it'd probably be pretty easy to take. Most of it's attached with like safety pins, but oh, metal is chilly. I feel like it doesn't look good. Like, I can't really obviously see it from this angle, but I feel like it doesn't look good, which sucks because this is a lot of work. No? Is it messed up? What's going on? It doesn't look good in the viewfinder, at least. I'm gonna go see. Okay, so I can't really tell what it is I don't like about it, but it's just, I don't know, maybe that it's like kind of messy, which makes me even more impressed with whoever made this. Like, I put in that amount of work and it doesn't even look good. I guess the verdict is I am a crocheter and not a jeweler. Can't really be too hard on myself because this is the first time I've done this kind of thing. Plus, maybe it looks better than I think. It's just that I'm not in a great mental state right now. Like, I'm in pain and I have this huge mess to clean up and just things didn't turn out the way I wanted to. And when I was like trying to like rearrange it, see if I can make it a little nicer, I literally just, I didn't even pull on this. I like was going to undo one of these, so I was like this, and this came off. I didn't tie any knots. I kind of forgot that step. So this is gonna come out and it's connected in two other places, which I will not be able to access. So this is just gonna fall apart when I let go of it. So that's fun. Yeah, don't know what to say. I am done. I'm glad I'm done. That's something. But anyway, I got my yarn in for 17, so I'm gonna take a break, shake it off, and then start that. It does look super cool when I just hold it up like this though. And it sounds nice. That's something.